What's going on, guys? T-Mart here, and today we got two brand new weapons in Advanced Warfare, the AE4 and the AE4 Widowmaker variant. So I want to bring you guys some gameplay of these things, let you guys see firsthand what they perform like and how they're looking, and let you guys know my first impressions after using them over the past couple of hours. So this gameplay you're going to see here, it's bare bones gameplay of the weapons. I purposefully didn't put any attachments or anything on it so you guys can see exactly how these things perform right when you pick them up. So let's get into this. Now, there are two versions, the AE4 and the AE4 Widowmaker variant. You guys can see the stats on screen. The Widowmaker variant, the change it makes is it's got a reduction in the rate of fire in exchange for an improvement in the accuracy. Now, which one do I like better? Granted, I've only played for 2 hours. The AE4 base version is really standing out to me. Like, one of the biggest downsides of this weapon is the fact that it has a low fire rate, and that oftentimes leads to losing gunfights. So the Widowmaker makes it fire even slower, and I don't like that. I definitely prefer the base AE4. Let me know what you guys are thinking so far down in the comments. But in general, what do I think about the gun? It's good. It's a good weapon. If you use it in the right way and you know, kind of position yourself on the map correctly, it could be a really good weapon, but it's not great. It's not super standout. It's like I still think that the BAL-27, the AK-12, and the HBR-A3 are the three best assault rifles by a good margin, and then below that, there's everything else. And I'd probably put the AE4 in 4th place. So it's a good weapon. It's just, it's not quite up to par with some of the other assault rifles. Just kind of some notes I noticed when I was using it. It does overheat pretty quickly, but it also cools down pretty quickly as well. Like, it's nice not to worry about running out of ammo, but it's also difficult to kill more than 2 enemies without letting it cool down, especially if your aim is just a tiny bit off. Like, you got to be super accurate with this thing. Otherwise, you're going to have to be cooling down all the time, which is kind of a downside. Also, the iron sights on it are terrible. It's really hard to tell where your shot is going to end up. When I first picked it up, I figured your shots were going to be going right at the tip of this kind of like vertical bar right here. That's what she said. But they don't. They go directly in the middle of your sights, which I guess makes sense, but you gotta have to like draw an imaginary crosshair and see where all of them connect. And I don't like that. Like, trying to pick off somebody's head behind cover at long range is nearly impossible with the iron sights. So I don't like that. But once you unlock the red dot sight, which obviously is fairly quickly, it improves a lot. So you definitely need to run some sort of optic on this weapon. Now, finally, the last thing I've got for you guys is this thing heavily favors medium range engagements. Like, it's got a sweet spot for that medium range. And once you learn to put yourself in those situations and get used to it, that's when this gun becomes extra lethal. You know, up close and far away, it's a pretty bad weapon. Like, I don't like up close. It's outclassed by a majority of the ARs and pretty much all of the SMGs just because it doesn't shoot fast enough. It doesn't do enough damage quick enough. So you aren't going to win those gunfights a lot of the time unless the other person just misses you. And then far away, it's hard to stay accurate because of the way the recoil works. Like, it shoots slower, and it's got quite a bit of recoil in between each shot, so it's really hard to stay on target when you don't have like much, like if you're shooting at an enemy that has his chest and head showing behind cover or something like that. It's hard to make it work. Unlike the BAL or the, you know, AK-12 or stuff that don't really have a lot of recoil. So, yeah, it's not really good at close range or long range, but once you put yourself in those medium range situations, that's when this thing excels, that's when it shines, and that's when it becomes a very prominent weapon that's very lethal. So, yeah, there you guys have it. That, my friends, is the AE4 and the AE4 Widowmaker. It's a pretty cool DLC weapon for us to get. It's definitely very unique, being that it's a direct energy assault rifle. It's got some pros, it's got some cons. It's, you know, not the best gun in the game, but it definitely is a good weapon that you can find success with. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure you guys check back later today for my Advanced Warfare gun guide of this weapon. We're going to be digging deep into the stats and seeing just exactly how it performs. And thank you guys so much for watching. Peace out, guys.